Welcome to Revelry Podcast. I'm your host, TikTok Mama. Today, I am super excited. We are recording a segment with Jackie and her son. We will introduce you shortly. We are piecing together a segment with Jackie and her son. What's your name?
What do you want it to be?
Lorette and Isa, myself and Toriana, and we have a special clip I'm not going to tell you about yet.
Oh my God, yes.
That I'm super excited about. So, let's get started.
Gerard, tell us what kind of mama you got. No,
Oh my God. My name is Jacqueline, and this is my oldest son, Gerard.
Yay, welcome,
So
Gerard.
you have two boys,
I have
right?
two boys.
Yeah.
Gerard is my oldest, and Jai is my youngest.
Is Gerard here because
Gerard
he's your favorite? Or
no,
the only
Gerard
one that
is
wanted
here because Jai is at home sleep because he
Yeah.
worked last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Gerard flew in. He's been here since Tuesday, I think.
Yep.
He's here visiting
From
Cali.
Oh, nice.
Because he lives in California, you know.
LA.
So I am happy that he's here with me for the week. So I thought it would be nice to, show y'all my...
Yes.
Yes.
Your first baby.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Now tell us, can we go back as far as how old were you, Jacqueline,
Yes.
when you had your firstborn?
I was 16 when I had my firstborn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. What was that
Teenage
like?
mom.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. But
Yes.
but I think I recall you did have a tremendous amount of family support.
I did have a lot of family support from Gerard's father's side and my
Nice.
side because
Nice.
Gerard happened to be the first boy for a while, and he was everybody's baby. So all my aunts, my cousins packed him because they were all the same, about the same age, because I'm the oldest of all the cousins. So, and my granny took him on as her other son almost. So he was everybody's everything.
The granny that we just lost?
Yes, the granny that we just
Aw,
lost.
I
Yes.
love that.
Gerard, what is your first memory of your mom as a child that kind of sticks out to you?
I mean, my mom, like we were from Galveston, right? So, the community.
Wait.
was so-
I'm sorry to interrupt. Jackie, do not stare him down.
Jackie,
Let him
that boy
speak freely.
Let that boy speak.
Yeah.
This is a non-judgmental
Okay.
table.
Yeah.
She's over there staring him down like, boy, you better
I
not
saw
say
her getting
nothing.
closer. Like she ready to snatch you.
I'm sorry to
Get that
interrupt.
meat up
Don't
under
worry,
that.
don't worry. Yeah, I mean, my first fond memories of my mom were, of course, she was a little bit younger, right? She was 16, 17. So essentially, she was going to school, and just honestly figuring out the ways to help raise me with my dad. So those are like the very first memories I have of them two, like just, doing the best they can at
Yes.
being teenagers, growing up, and also raising me, which was always great. So super grateful for both of them.
When did you realize, like, as maybe you were a teen, figuring out, like, wow, my mom did this as a teenager?
Yeah.
When
yeah.
did that, like, strike you? Like,
To be honest, it was really once I got out of college, and even so, I'm 34 now. So like more the older
Damn.
I get, yeah, the the older I get, the more I'm like, oh wow, like my mom and dad were super young doing this, essentially like children raising another child, But yeah, it was honestly right. I'd say 27, 28 when I really got that feeling of like, wow, they really did this when they were so young. Did a great job too.
proud moment, right?
Proud
Yes,
moment. Very proud moment.
But you and your mom appear to be very close. I love
Extremely.
that. Tell me, as far as from a disciplinary aspect, what was it like being raised by Jacqueline Whole Black?
Why are you sweating over there, Jackie?
Well, if you can only imagine.
I'm just
We
wondering-
can't.
Gerard, I'm just wondering if you got snatched.
Oh, snatched.
Did you
she-
did you run things? I've heard Jai say, my older brother ruined it for me.
Yeah,
I couldn't
'cause,
get away with anything because you paid the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was a little bit. I was the first boy. The wild card. So I was definitely exploring and pushing the boundaries for everybody.
Right.
My mom.
My gangster.
Yeah, me and my little brother are a little bit bigger. So my mom, obviously being the smallest person in the room,
Right.
she was always the one who she really didn't have to say much. She would always like say stuff very aggressively and be like, okay, well, she is not playing right now, so let's everybody just relax, because if mom's upset, then the whole house is not in good shape,
right, That's right.
So as far as discipline, it was definitely a stern talking to. Whenever she had to put pause on somebody, she would do it in the most loving way possible, but definitely let you know. Yeah, exactly.
So you did receive the pause.
1,000%.
Oh yes, because
1,000%.
Gerard was one of them ones, right? So he would go. He went to school and he did something, and I had to take off from work.
Oh, you had to take off from work.
I showed up at
He
the
affected
school.
your
Yeah,
mental.
she'll pull up at the school
I
like,
pulled
what's
up.
going on?
I said, "Come here, let's go in this bathroom."
Oh.
Come on.
How old? Do you remember how old
He
you
was
were?
like in the 6th or 7th grade.
And you pulled that poor baby in the bathroom. You couldn't wait to
Man.
get home.
Couldn't
His
wait.
friend.
Couldn't wait to get home.
Sometimes
You
you
showed
got
out there.
I
Showed
mean,
out.
I
He
mean,
used to do the craziest stuff, and that's why Paul Jai he couldn't get away with nothing. Gerard was the one who used to sneak out the house, right? He snuck out the house
Is
to
it
go
because
have
you were-
breakfast with somebody's grandma.
not even. I mean, what was it? Were you scared to ask your mom for permission to go out, or you just knew she would say no and take it into your
I
hands?
knew she would say no.
Yeah.
I knew my mom.
He's bad.
Like, obviously I grew up and they were young, so I was, raised by both of them and super close knit. So anytime I was like, Mom, can I go spend the night at somebody's house? She was like, probably not.
Yeah.
It was like maybe like 2 or 3 people that she let me spend the night. People I played baseball with and sports with who were super cool.
Yeah.
Outside of family,
Right.
but outside of that, it was like a hard, it's not happening.
But you're thankful now for those decisions, I'm
Super,
sure, right?
super thankful. Super
Yeah,
thankful.
when you're a child,
Yeah, you really
You're
don't
like,
understand it.
this
You
is
Gerard
know?
was
horrible.
very spoiled.
Yeah.
Right? He was very spoiled.
The
He was
whole
very spoiled.
family.
He was spoiled because, when he was little, my mother-in-law at the time was alive, so she used to take him and oil him down with olive oil. He used to be so slippery, he'd slip out your hand because she said he was crusty. She would
Not
bathe him down,
crusty.
rub him with my grandmother used to take him to church, and he used to stay with my parents because when I went off to college, I had to leave him at home, right?
Oh, that's right.
And so the first year, my dad and mom were divorced. But my daddy would pick him up from school, and my mom used to pick him up when she got off of work at night. So my dad took him to the baseball field, and that's why he was very good at playing baseball because I think he was like 1. He was catching a ball already because my daddy didn't play. He was like, come on, this boy going outside.
Yeah.
So he would, my dad used to play craps all the time. So he went to church, and my grandma was an usher. An usher in the church.
And the usher.
She had her white on with her gloves, and
Yeah.
he's sitting back there. 5, 7. She thought she was gonna die in church.
I love it.
So we had to stop him with my daddy, and then he made him like pee in the beer can because he used to drink Miller Lite. My daddy was like, "You a boy, just get that that can and
Go
go
pee
on
in the
over there.
can.
Go on over there." And then he started wanting to always get the can to pee. He was horrible.
Is that why you asked me for a can a little
No.
while ago? You got a whole basket.
He can't be blamed for that.
What a great example, though, Jackie, you are as a young mom, because you just said, I didn't know this. You went to college
Mm-hmm.
and you made sure that your kid, that didn't stop your education, but you made sure that
Yes,
your
that's
kids
great.
were very well taken care of and their life continued.
When I was young, my grandmother's main thing was that I was going to college, right? I was getting out
You
of
really
Galveston.
weren't, from the story I've heard, you really weren't given an option.
No,
You're
you didn't
going-
have no option.
Yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
give my kids one either.
So that's great, but I'm trying to put a time frame on that. He was 2 or 3 when you went off to college.
No, he was 1.
A little over 1.
Yeah,
Okay, pushing
he was a little
2.
over 1 when I went off to college.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So when
What was that separation like for you?
it was bad because I didn't want to leave him with my mom and my dad because they were strict on me. So I was like, oh my God, somebody gonna put this pressure on this
Yeah.
baby, and he little,
Yeah.
But my dad, he didn't play. He was like, you don't get to party no more. You come home every weekend. They bought me a car so I could come home every weekend
To be
keep
with him.
Friend, you
Oh,
had some
that's-
good
So
parents.
I had to come home keep that baby, and then get back on the road and drive back to Huntsville every weekend.
So I just want to make sure I have this right. You were 16.
Yep.
You and the father did not live together at that time.
No.
Right?
He was away at
but
college.
was he involved? Okay, so when he was he
I
involved
married him.
and helped,
Uh-huh.
right? But he helped with
He
the
helped.
kid.
He helped, and his parents.
family helped.
Yes, and his
That's
parents
so
helped.
important.
Yeah.
Right, his parents
And
helped.
unique too.
That's great.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Yep. I had it, I had it pretty good, but my grandma didn't give me an option. And then my dad never went to college. And you know how sometimes you change your major like 50 times? And he told me, hey, you've been in school 4 years. You need to hurry up. You got a baby.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to be going to school no more. It don't take nobody that long to graduate from school.
Good night. So how old was Gerard when Jai came along?
10, 9?
Oh, okay.
Y'all
Yeah.
are that far
Yeah,
apart.
we're
So
9
what
years
did you
apart.
think? Do you remember having a feeling about, ooh, I'm excited about a sibling?
I was obviously
or
like
I don't-
super excited. I think I always asked my mom and dad for a little brother or little sister at
He
that
did.
time, but
Wasn't
I,
interested.
I was, of course, the only child for a little bit. So
Yeah.
it was definitely like an adjustment period
Mhm.
of being like, okay, well, all this time is not for me anymore, So once I got over that initial thing, it's been great, Obviously, it was just like 2 peas in a pot.
Yep.
It just had to get used to. My little brother slept with me until he was like 7 or 8,
Yeah.
but it's been obviously great, So
I
yeah.
love that.
So when you, what do you think about, or do you even think about when you get married and you have children? What traits you think you already have that your mom, parenting traits? Do you ever wonder like, man, I could see myself being this way with my son or my daughter?
Yeah, I think my mom, just like where we come from in Galveston and then obviously like Houston, it's always been just sort of the traditional way of raising children, but also letting them be children and go outside, have fun, you know what I mean? And just also being super close to family, obviously. And yeah, just, letting kids be kids, I think.
So would you let your children stay at other people's homes?
Depending on who it was,
Yeah.
I might be a little bit
He
more
learned.
looser, relaxed than her. But I mean, definitely, obviously, in the world we live in now,
Yeah.
like you got to be careful,
Right.
So now that I'm older, I definitely understand,
Yes.
So that definitely might be one thing. I'm like, let me, let me and whoever my wife is, vet that out. you
Yeah.
know?
She's ready to be a grandma.
I do. Trish, it's funny because for a while, especially like my early 20s, we never had conversations about grandbabies or marriage or none of that.
Nothing.
Now it's like, oh well, when I get grandchildren, it'll be nice to do this, do that. So I do.
You're
I
kind
have
of in that
recognized
age,
it.
right?
Yeah,
34.
of
It's
course.
it's time.
Yeah, for sure,
It's-
sure.
I mean,
It's
actually, your brother could pull it out before you do.
I mean, he might. He might. No,
No, she-
probably not. Probably not actually.
It could happen, but
Yeah, it can happen. It could happen.
I beg for grandkids, and I know it's their timing, right?
Right, sure.
And what I want to say is that I never wanted them to be like a teen parent,
Yeah.
right? Because that was a struggle.
Yes.
And it's no guarantee that I always feel like when you're the father, you have to do what the mom lets you,
Mhm.
right? Even though you the daddy, that mama still have
Right.
more control
Mhm.
over the baby. So I was like, don't go through that. When you get married, and I know mistakes happen, or not even mistakes. People have kids
Yeah, of
that are not
course.
married or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be the one showing up, knocking on the door, be like, "Girl, where that baby?"
Yeah. You want to be.
I have to be there
She's
because I
definitely
need
pulling up.
somebody to feed a whole bunch of gravy and chicken wings too.
But I think just-
Sunday cooking.
This is my first time meeting Gerard,
Mhm.
and I feel like you are so important in his life that whatever woman he chooses to be with, she's going to understand that,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to pick wisely. So
Mhm.
you won't have to be going up to anybody's house. I think your problem is going to be they're going to dropping them off at your house all the time. You're going to be
And
like,
there's no
excuse
more
me.
cigar bar for
Well, them
Jackie.
babies gonna be a little tipsy. I'm showing them how to
Oh.
make a
Problem.
drink.
That's the problem
Show
right
them how to
there.
make a drink early.
That's
You
the
went
problem.
from one grandma to
said
having
that's the
3
problem.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but looking at you were very, your parents were hard on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You were hard on your kids, and look how
Mhm.
successful and wonderful your boys are.
Yeah.
But
mean,
is it-
I love.
But
I'm
is it
proud.
hard?
Well, if to ask Gerard,
Yeah.
your mom mom was hard on you.
Yeah,
Looking back, do you see it as hard or as like the right kind of parenting?
I just think definitely the right type of parenting. I think it just her and my dad added just a lot of structure and discipline to me and my little brother.
That's great.
Whether that be sports, obviously, my mom and dad didn't play about education as well. Or even just basic rules of, just respecting them as parents. Also, being able to go outside and conduct yourself with, discipline and respect for not only your parents, but yourself. And,
Right.
Obviously doing all of that, I think that has, allowed me to, and my little brother to just be raised in.
Gerard was very
in the
good
right
at
way.
sports, right? So he played baseball. I think from the time you were pee-wee ball, little
T-ball,
league,
yeah,
T-ball.
yeah.
So from T-ball all the way to high school,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then he played football also, right?
Yeah.
So he was very good at baseball. But
Right, because we have an 8-year-old that needs baseball lessons.
and so he
right after this,
Yeah.
he was
you gotta give me 15 minutes.
first baseman, and they called him. Nothing went by him, right? And he played select ball.
Yeah,
So
Baseball USA.
he was going to go. I thought he was going to get a scholarship, right, to play baseball, but he got a scholarship to play football. And
Nice.
he took Cy-Fair. His team
Cy
went
Falls.
Cy Falls. You guys went
Went to state.
to state.
2006.
One of them.
Yeah, I graduated in 07. So.
Yeah. And then he went to Iowa State. And then he
Oh,
played ball
nice.
at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we didn't play around that camp. I got put out of a lot of baseball games. for
No,
screaming.
Passion.
I'm
You
shocked.
definitely got put out.
Iowa. Did
Iowa.
you date the
Yeah.
Queen of Corn?
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
At that time, it was great.
Yes.
We was, just got in a
That's
different
different. There.
environment.
Did you the children of the corn over there?
Man,
Yes.
It was a great time
Listen.
though.
I'm just playing. We love you, Iowa.
Shout out to I State.
Listen, I was
Caitlin
in
Clark's from there.
Ames, girl, going to one of the games. You guys know I wear heels, right?
Yes,
So
we
I
do.
had his jersey tied up in a knot in the back, and I stayed at this hotel, and I'm switching my butt across the cop. The cop stopped me and said, "Ma'am, you lost?" I said, "No, I'm going to the football game." He was like that?
Man.
I know you snatched him.
I was like, "What do you mean?"
They used to
I'm
the
from Texas.
Iowa chicks with the Carhartt overalls on and boots or
Oh,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. They met Jackie and they're like, "Whoa, what?"
They
Yeah.
took me to the Piggly Wiggly, baby. I went in there with them heels on, got that bacon. They was like,
Oh my God.
the cashier was like,
I love it.
I was like, oh
You're not
my
from around
God.
here, are you?
Yeah, you're not from around these parts. But Gerard used to go fishing all the time, and I don't know how he used to get people to give him boats and stuff. Who goes and have a flat on the back road? Some random farmer comes out. I'm like, boy, do you know who you are? You can't be out on the back road in Iowa. They gonna put you in one of them corn things.
Yeah.
He made it out okay.
It was
He
great.
made it
But
out
he
okay.
drove home with a thing full of bait. And when he got home, I was like, why is your car smelling like this? Mind you, the trunk full of clothes.
Oh my God.
We had to sort the clothes in the driveway, right? There's a big old thing of bait. Oh, Mom, I ain't even know.
I love fishing. Fishing is
Yeah.
like one of my passions and first
Mhm.
loves, from my family. as
You
well.
like saltwater or fresh?
I like
Or-
saltwater a little
yeah.
bit more, but also fresh. I do both, So yeah.
He used to be on a team when you did the tarping.
Yeah.
He used to do tarping.
fishing team
Oh.
out of
Mhm.
Louisiana.
Mhm.
Oh, don't get it locked in a conversation with my husband.
Yeah. Man, we
Y'all
got to
will
talk.
y'all be locked down for about 30 minutes to an hour.
My guy.
Okay,
My guy.
well,
goodness.
he is educated. He is single.
Mhm.
He has this as a mother. So buyer beware.
Beware. Exactly.
Hey, submit your application up in Jackie's DMs.
Info at revelrypodcast.com.
He has a senior group.
All
you
the
guys,
dimes.
y'all follow him at -2.
Yeah.
My baby
yeah,
is a
yeah.
-2 right?
It's the Instagram is -2 music. But
There
yeah.
you
Minus
go.
two.
Do
Music.
you sing or do you play an instrument?
So I do the rapping and singing. It's me and my roommate from college.
Yep.
I moved out to LA in 2017. And so that was one of the main reasons I moved out there. And it's been cool. We've been able to put out music. If you guys have like Spotify or Apple Music, we do that. We do shows, did some cool shows so far. And yeah, it's been growing.
Okay.
So it's nice.
Spell it out for them.
MINUS and then the number 2. And,
-2.
Yep. You can look it up on Apple Music, Spotify, and enjoy it.
Okay, would you? I'm not. You don't have to if you don't want to, but would you spit some bars for us?
Ooh.
Oh, anything you want. You don't have to. It could be. You don't have to.
I think
You don't-
Trisha wants to compete with you.
No, I
'Cause,
don't.
Trish will come up here and bust a freestyle quick. Y'all,
I said I'm
y'all
Trisha
go
from
check it out.
H-Town. I do. Wait. I do want, because since you're gonna be on the panel with your daughter and I'm gonna be on the panel with my daughter and so on, I do want to take this moment for Gerard maybe to say something to his mom for Mother's Day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only
Yes.
because I'm being selfish, because I want my daughter to say something on camera.
So be
It's
ready.
not about you,
Be ready.
Jackie. No, but really, I think that would be sweet.
Come on,
So-
toot it.
Mother,
Yes.
you know I love you so much.
Yes.
You know we are extremely close.
Yes.
I'm super grateful. Me and Jai are super grateful for just who you are as a person. She is the head of our family,
The
and-
matriarch.
Yeah, exactly. And she just does so much for us. So, on a daily, on a weekly. So I love you so much. Thank you so much. My
Guys,
sweet-
and he's sweet too.
Yeah,
And he's handsome, and he
I
got
love
bass
you
in
too,
his
Gerard.
voice. He
And
got
he's
some
a
bass in his
rapper,
voice.
upcoming entertainer. Hello.
Yeah. Thank y'all for having me.
No,
Love it.
thank you for being
Thank you
here.
for
That
doing
was
it for me.
amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
What
you.
a great representation of
Yes.
your mom.
Thank you.
Speaks
See that?
volumes.
Speaks volume of the person,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Don't judge a
Absolutely.
book by its cover, baby.
No,
Run a tight
baby.
ship.
Yes, that's right, baby. That's right.
Y'all but check this Mother's Day hat out.
Oh, wait.
Look at her
Please check it out.
Wait. Right outside the door. Can you bring what's right outside the door, please? Because, you're always showing up with the cute outfits
Yeah.
and the derby hats. I
Yeah.
know you have quite, so I brought out my derby hats.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Stop it. Not the derby hat.
Please.
Grandma.
This hat is about 50 years old.
Here we go.
Is it on
So
now?
now we can close out. I mean, hello. Now we can close out.
We're getting ready to go to the Derby.
With the Cinco de Mayo, I think this
Exactly.
is
Yeah, it's all about the
Exactly.
Cinco de
It's
Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Exactly.
Okay, next up is Trisha and Toriana.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Welcome to Revelry Podcast. I'm your host, TikTok Mama. I am super excited. I'm super excited every day. But today, especially, my heart walking around outside of my body
Aww.
is joining us today. And this is baby girl. Oh my gosh, y'all. Welcome, baby girl. I'm so excited. Yay, baby girl. Oh my gosh.
Baby girl on her best behavior.
Yes.
She goes, uh-oh.
Look, twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody gonna
Hit
love
that bass,
me
girl.
quite like you can. Okay.
Okay, I want to get into it because I just met you, right? I just met you like maybe a year ago.
She's like,
So has your mom always been this persona, this personality? Because we know her as fun, loving. She really captures a lot of people's attention, and she brings a lot of joy to them. How was it in your household? Was it the same way?
I wish I could just go through my camera roll and show you every video.
The strictness.
Starting, from her on the stripper pole on the cruise when I was 13.
When we were up on the bar dancing in Mexico.
When we were up in the bar in Mexico. I wish I could just show you all the videos, but I do not think she's changed
Oh, I love that.
even 1%.
I love that.
I wish I could really just show
tamer,
them.
right? Maybe a little bit tamer.
oh.
As she's gotten older, she's just settled down a little bit more. No.
I was trying to be nice.
I wouldn't say that. No, she's the exact same. As long as I can remember. I think the first memory being at our last house. My dad's 40th birthday, which was how long ago? 14 years? 15 years?
No, did he just turn 55?
Yeah.
15 years
15
ago.
years.
15
That's
years
right.
ago, and that was when the canoe ended up in the pool.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
As it always does.
Oh,
As it
God.
always does.
The canoe and the pool, and the kids were trapped under it.
I thought I was going to die every time.
They were all trapped under it. All the cousins. It was amazing.
Every time I would we had 5 bedrooms and 2 couches. And every time I would try to go sleep somewhere, there was somebody there. So I ended up sleeping on the carpet.
I always pimped her room out, right?
I'll never let this go.
Oh,
What?
gosh.
What?
I think I bring it up every single
Tell
time.
us. Bring it up now.
Me and Destiny and I. slept on the floor with 0 blankets and 0 pillows because
No,
they were
you
all
didn't.
taken
She's such a host, though.
at like
She knows you guys
4
would survive.
a.m.
Well, all the towels were wet, so we couldn't even use that. I think we fell asleep on the chairs outside.
All the beds
my
were
God.
taken.
But y'all were safe. That's the point. Y'all were
Right,
safe.
y'all, these are parties. Like, these are good memories.
Yes.
Like, these are like, if the cops didn't come to our house,
You were good.
you weren't doing it right.
no, they did come quite often.
And you never learned that it wasn't a stripper.
All the time they
I
came.
always
and then
was really hoping it was a stripper.
Do you remember when we ran from the cops when we were at the house across the street? I guess the people from Alaska that moved to Alaska.
Mhm.
Remember that?
Yes, yes,
And we
yes.
ran there and then we all hid.
Oh my gosh. It's coming back.
We were
to
so
me.
messed up.
The chainsaw?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, the chainsaw. The cops did come that night.
Yes.
Well, I mean, as they should. I don't even want to ask about the chainsaw. Let me ask you this, because we asked Gerard this yesterday. What is your first memory of your mom, like being your mom? Do you remember like a specific memory that you have that you hold with you and that, you know, you kind of go back to it sometimes? She's laughing. So it was a funny one?
I think that my parents did a really good job of documenting my childhood, and so that kind of skews like the stories and the pictures that I have skews my memory a little bit. But the first memory that I have was when I was driving across a bridge. I think it was just me in the back seat, and then it was them too. And I said, if the car went off the bridge right now, or if the bridge collapsed, who would you guys save first? And they both said each other, and I was like, y'all don't love me. I said, who's gonna save me?
Hashtag FTK.
I thought you were going to say, because your parents talk very highly of you. They adore you. And I know all parents do, right? But they really like adore you. So that shocks me that they would say each other. I think we all know that they would save you.
Trash.
At least your
love
dad.
Each other.
Your dad would save you.
They love each other now. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, my friend knows. Here, friend, share it with you. No, but it was very important to me to teach my kids. I was not the best parent. I was not equipped. I was, especially to have a blended family. I failed a lot. Didn't have the patience I really needed. But my kids extended grace to me, and they still do today. And I'm extremely thankful for that. But I just know that in spite of all of my failures as a parent, my kids turned out great.
Absolutely. And the relationship that you have with them speaks volumes.
Yes, because love will just cover a multitude, right?
Mhm.
But the most important thing that I wanted to get across as a parent, and I did, I succeeded in this, which was always at the forefront. It was always most important, was for me to model, right? The husband and wife relationship. It was so important for me to model what that should look like. And so when she's talking to you about I would save my spouse over my child if I had to make a choice, it's 100. It's 100, because if we can do anything for our kids, I do believe it's model loving someone endlessly, loving someone selflessly, loving someone more than you love yourself, right? And I feel like we succeeded in that.
Yeah, I think I did have a different childhood than all of my other siblings because they were just a part of a different time. But I will say, and I have seen it a lot in the last 6 months, that everything that happened when I was a child that I was so mad at my mom for, I thought she was so wrong for, I've seen in myself. Like every single thing, whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. And I think that that's more genetics than habits. So that helps me justify a lot. But also like the spouse thing. Like I did not understand until I found my spouse.
Wow.
And now you get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a twin. Oh, I love that. Cheers. Cheers, twin.
How have
No,
you?
I'll say this. I feel like she has my physique, like my build.
Yes.
I mean, I've gained weight a little bit.
Well, no, because she's always been a dancer. She's following in Mama's footsteps. So she's always been a dancer. And I remember when you told me that Tori's going to do cheer. I'm like, Tori do cheer? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you think she's so flexible and she's a flyer. Like she was
Yep,
everything. But I was just like, damn, this girl can do a lot of things. How did you feel when you found out your baby girl wanted to do cheer?
I was-
versus dance, because again, dancing
Yes.
queen.
Right. No, of course, I was going to support her 100, but I was hurt also because I knew the time and the commitment she had put in,
Mm-hmm.
right, to dance. And I was like, oh, baby, I couldn't tell her this. I had to support her, and I may have told her, but I thought you're going to regret this.
Why?
Stepping outside of it, she broke her ankle.
Completely starting over.
Completely starting over. She, but Toriana flies by the seat of her pants, and I can't wreck her for that because I do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're similar that way.
Yeah, I think in terms of everything that happened in high school, there were just some things that went wrong in dance, and I thought that it was the whole world because I was 16 years old
Of
and
course.
hadn't had
That
that many
was
bad
your
things
world,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I said, okay, I want to do cheer. And it was
Yeah.
a very minor thing that made me want to change. But looking back on it, it was just a stupid little thing that made me want to change. And I
I
don't
that.
regret it, but if I went back, I would have done it differently.
Yeah, yeah. But you can't tell them in that moment.
No,
right?
not at
They-
16.
And she was the kind of person, and still is. She has to learn it for herself. She's not one of those you can tell.
And you want them
Right?
to, though.
Yeah, absolutely, to
Yeah.
an extent. But y'all, when my husband and I got together, we had a 4-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried for her for a long time. It took me a long time to
Yeah.
get pregnant, which was so foreign because I got pregnant the first time I had sex, right? So when I finally got pregnant with Toriana, I did Tristan.
And I did.
Mhm.
And I did.
Who else?
Yeah, who else? Yeah. Well, yeah.
Destiny's like, oh my God, I'm just now knowing this about Thea.
Be careful.
Sorry.
It can happen, Destiny. It can
Yes,
happen.
Yes. But we Toriana, it took us 4 years to get pregnant with her. So when we finally got pregnant with her, I was just elated.
Oh, I'm
I was
sure.
like, this is the boy for my husband. Because I have a girl and I have
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to be a boy.
Yeah.
And nope, it was a girl.
Surprise.
It's
motherfucker.
surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That's
I'll
my
drink to that,
princesa.
baby girl. I'll drink to that. But I just know when Toriana, she's 25. She, like I said, it took us 4 years to get pregnant with her. She was such a joy to raise. Oh my gosh, you were so much fun. You were so much fun. You would steal Tyler's bottles, his pacifiers, and just to make him mad. It was so cute. But I'm super excited for when my baby girl has a
Oh
baby.
my gosh.
Y'all, when she has a baby.
Toriana, you might not be able to see that baby. Do you understand
No,
that?
And I told her, Lorette, I said, you might want to go ahead and just have triplets.
Yes.
Because I'm going to take
I want
it-
one.
I promise. Look,
Quadruplet. I'm not doing
Oh, I-
quadruplets.
no, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Yeah.
Take your time. Okay, so
No,
on
really, yes.
take your time.
Take your time. You're
What
20
traits, though, now that your mom mentioned having babies, what traits do you know that your mom had with you that at the time you're like, oh, F this. I'm not going to do this to my kids. What traits do you think that now you're going to instill in your own children? Something that she did that totally annoyed you when you were younger that you could see yourself now doing.
She's like, where do I begin?
No.
blood.
If I thought harder, I'm sure I could find some stuff, but it's one specific thing. And I'm going to
Tell us.
feel just insane for saying this because I don't think anyone else gets it because I think it's, again, genetic.
Yeah.
But there were so many times when I would like put something in the toaster oven and I would pull it forward so that I could use it. And then I'd put whatever it is in and then I'd cook it and then I'd go eat it or whatever. And she'd come in and she'd go, and she'd like push it back where it goes really aggressively.
Tori, don't show all my crazy.
I said one thing.
One thing.
I
Yeah.
could say more.
She could be here all night, she said.
And I do that now and I'm like,
You do the
Just-
same
just
thing.
put it
So
back.
Now you know.
Bless it. No, but I get what she's saying.
You see, son, Destiny?
And when she talks to me about this, I'm like, baby girl, I wish I could have chose what God wanted to give you, right? Like, I wish I could have given you certain things, but this is what he did.
But you know what? We've talked about this. We're so hard on ourselves about being moms and how we raised our specifically our girls, which 3 gorgeous women are sitting in
Yes.
front of us that are
Yes.
intelligent, independent.
Bosses.
Yes. So we didn't do everything wrong. There's no perfect mother.
Right, agreed. I do appreciate all the grace you extended me over the years.
I think the fact that I get to look back on those small things and work on those things in myself before I even have kids
they gonna get it too.
brings to light
They gonna get it too.
that I didn't really have it bad. If like that's what I'm worried about, if I'm worried about
Absolutely.
taking a deep breath
Yeah.
in front of my husband or my kids because they didn't put something back,
Yes.
that's something that I can work on. And the fact that that's my biggest worry is,
Oh, I love
Crazy.
that. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so small. It's so
I
insignificant.
could be worried about so many more things. If
Yep.
that's what I have to worry about and that's what I have to work on with myself, that's like at least I can acknowledge it and realize that I could be doing a lot harder things than
Mhm.
working on myself.
Absolutely. You see, Trisha?
And the other thing is like recognizing that as I am experiencing these behaviors, that she was once a child who recognized these behaviors in her mom, and that there were a lot of things that I know that she experienced and she self-reflected and it's changed for me as well. So looking back on, okay, I don't want to take a deep breath when I push the toaster oven back. What did she do differently when she was raising me because she didn't want to be like her mom?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody does that. You should
Yeah.
want to be better. You shouldn't want to be.
I love that, Toriana.
Yeah.
That was
love
deep.
that.
I
And
love
if
that.
my kids,
Yeah,
if all they
was.
have to worry about is not sighing when they push the toaster oven back, then
You're going to be a great mom.
I won. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
I absolutely love the person that you are. I am super proud of you. I love that we are twinning. We have T necklaces on. We have matching watches on. We have matching. Now you're doing a little trendy footwear with it. I'm doing a little hooker heel with it.
Not the hooker
It's
heel.
like 2 inches.
Well, I'm just talking
The
about the
kitty heel-
clear,
kitten
yeah,
heels.
the clear strappy, you know.
So before we ended with Gerard, we asked him to say something to his mom for Mother's Day.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Do you want to do something
Look
like
at
that?
her. It's like she put me on the spot like that.
Just I love you, Mom. Whatever comes to.
Anything that yeah.
Well, I want to save it
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I have Mother's Day plans.
Oh. Okay. Well, then we will have to let you guys know what it is.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, we love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, not my daughter bringing in a shot.
I love it.
In Cuban coffee cups. Is it
Oh,
tequila?
wait, are we having tea?
Yeah. She goes, tequila.
Tequila.
No, live. Maybe I'll take a little sip.
She's going to.
I want more than everybody.
Why are you pointing at me, T?
It's her house. She ain't got to drive far.
Cheers.
Did
Oh,
she
that's-
really have a sippage? Are you serious?
Cheers.
Wait, can
Cheers.
can I do my
Yes,
cheers?
yes.
Let me do
Our
my little-
cheers?
Yes.
Here's to you. Here's to me. Friends forever we should be. If we should ever disagree, fuck you. Here's to me.
Ooh.
What is that? Yácatelas.
That was a lot, though.
Yácatelas.
We needed that, though, I think.
Okay, you're on, Mama.
That was a lot.
Hey, that was good. What is it?
Is
Is that pretty bottle? Okay.
That numbed my lip.
oh my god, that was.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to numb
We're ready.
everything.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting a thing from production. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, we can't really. Wow.
Okay, wait.
It doesn't. It runs a lot smoother when Issa's behind the.
Yes. Okay, so now,
Now
we
we
have
have Isa.
my daughter, Isabella. Everybody knows her as Isa.
Who the hell is Isabella?
I have no idea.
I know, right?
I have
She
no
doesn't
idea.
even
That
wanna-
is Isa.
New phone. Who did?
Who this? Who came up with Isa?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yes. But we're not talking about
Aw.
dad. We're talking about mom
Okay,
today.
yeah, forget Dad. It's not June.
So, being the baby girl,
Yep.
The oldest,
Oh,
but the baby girl. You're
the
right.
baby girl,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
how does it feel? Just you and your mom being the only women in the household.
Honestly,
overran with men.
It's a lot. There's a lot of men around, and if you guys know me, I don't really love that.
Yeah.
But I love my dad and my brothers, of course.
Of course.
But my mom and I are both pretty like. Well, she's very alpha. I feel like.
Roof.
And I feel like no. I like it. I like being the only girl. Like,
Would
in my
you
family.
describe yourself as being alpha, Issa?
I'm like a nice alpha. Like I'm like a.
Issa, I vibe
You
with
know what?
you.
I
absolutely.
Yeah, you're. I was telling Destiny, you have like a great aura. Like,
Yeah, you do.
I feel very
Stop.
comfortable just like talking to you, and it's just.
Yeah.
She's
That means
awesome.
a lot. I think I'm like a nice alpha. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm not like
Does that mean that I'm not a nice
you're
alpha?
like just an alpha. Like no adjective before that word. Like just alpha.
She's an alpha with some. She's soft and she's soft.
Yes,
and yes,
Feminine.
yes.
She's a femme.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
not
She's
that.
a femme.
I think you're assertive, but you put the little sugars on top and the
Yes,
cherry
thank
on
you.
top.
That's
Okay,
very
I have a
nice.
question. Issa, did your mom, what is the first memory you have of your mom? With
Oh,
your
Lord.
mom, of your mom?
One of the first memories is after my core memories is after her mom had passed away.
How
Her-
old were you then, Issa?
I was older.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why this is like one of my first. I was like 17 probably, but like
Yeah.
I remember like, she was crying and she was in the back of she was in the passenger, I was in the front seat, and I like looked back, or she was in the back seat. I looked back at her, and she was crying and she was like questioning God in that moment, and I remember thinking
like she verbally said
she
that?
verbally was like,
Uh-huh.
why would God do this to me, type of thing. And I just remember looking at her because my whole life was like so strong. I really never saw her cry until recently. And she cries often, but like when I was
menopause.
younger,
Menopause.
she never cried. I mean, neither of my parents were.
You
like,
saw strength in your parents and your mom
Yes,
especially, but
100%.
this right here, her
Yes.
guard was off, and
Yes, like there was my first time seeing her like defeated, and I remember thinking like, I didn't even know I could be like defeated. I didn't know people could be defeated. Like I was always
you
around,
saw
like,
so much strength in your
That's a
mom.
beautiful
Yes,
thing.
Exactly. So that was like one of my first.
From the outside of your family looking in, your mom does display all of that.
Yeah.
You saw vulnerability you've never seen your mom
But
before.
that's
Yes.
important too.
It's very important for you to see. I think
Yeah,
that
our
was a
kids
very
to see
pivotal
us
moment
in
that you
a-
saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And that's why it stuck with
absolutely.
you so
I
long.
didn't,
Yeah,
I'm
know,
so
I
sorry.
didn't even know that.
No, you're
I know.
fine.
I totally agree. It's like good for kids to see like both parents or whatever be like vulnerable and stuff. But I had only seen you being like pretty tough, so it was kind of nice to see you like.
No, when your
cry
mom
for-
dies.
Oh, like
I
she
mean,
actually has
when your mom
feelings?
dies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it was good. I
So
love my-
Issa, going through junior high, high school,
Mhm.
was there a time that your mom ever embarrassed you? Like,
For
She's
sure.
like,
Bitch, I got
she's like,
Bitch, I got pregnant when she was a
my-
senior.
what?
That's how I embarrassed her.
You what?
I got pregnant when she was a senior.
in high school.
So it was like,
Teresa can Teresa
hey,
can trump
give me
all
a
that.
gang, gang, tea, gang, tea.
Gang, gang. Gang. That's hilarious. Yeah, she embarrassed me for sure. Because she doesn't give an F. Like I do care. Like she doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's that Cuban in her.
It is a Cuban and like I
I mean,
don't
I
know,
give
I'm
an F about your feelings.
about things like
Yeah.
she would just, make calls that shouldn't have been made. Is like the point. So.
Oh my God, I'm being roasted.
But like she's also a great mom. Like my friends in high
Of
school, like
course.
they like she was the one that my friends came to talk about like sex and
Yes.
like things that they couldn't talk with their moms about. Like
I get that, Issa. I feel like your house was we can all go to Issa's house.
yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Because mom and dad like welcome us.
Yeah.
It's comfortable here. We can be ourselves. Yeah, I
100%.
get that.
yeah, it was nice like knowing my friends could talk to both of my parents about like anything, and it was nice. And it was funny because like I wasn't giving them anything to talk about. Like my mom literally sat me down one day and she's like, this girl's talking to her mom about sex. Why aren't you talking to me? I was like, well, mom, I am gay, but you don't know that yet. But just give me a couple seconds. Give me a couple years and we'll get there.
I'm like,
but
are you doing anything? Do we need to go buy? Like, I was
Dude.
excited when I found out I had a girl. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait to put her in a dress, to do the makeup thing with her, to
dresses.
talk about boys.
She said I wear dresses.
And it's like,
Yeah.
that wasn't it. In fact, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about, I'm sure you are. I don't care, even if you're not. But,
I'll do it.
when Issa,
She's like, I'll edit it.
Issa, my mom called out Issa when Issa was like 8 years old. She told me, she goes, Issa's gay.
Your
But it was
mom?
my mom.
It's a little disrespectful. But
Okay, but my mom, like, she knew, okay, and I'm like, okay, well, she is, but she's 8 years old. Like, what are we gonna do? And that was just like at the back of my mind, right? And then in high school, I noticed that she would date kind of like she had like one stereotype, but it was not the same attraction that you would think a straight girl would have.
I dated like athletes. I feel like in high school.
Yeah,
the guys.
athletes, right?
I feel like that was pretty
Yeah,
straight.
but like when, yes,
Okay.
yes, but
Anyways.
but so anyway, when I dated an athlete, I was all over them. She was not like that at all.
No.
You know, she was just very like,
Someone to hang out
Party.
with, right?
Yes.
More so.
Like the guys thought I was cool because like I thought what they thought was cool. Like we all like sports. We all
y'all had something in common.
had a
Like
lot
we,
in
we can
common.
talk about sports and shit.
yes.
And
Yes.
And also like I feel like they wanted me because I didn't want them. Like I really do think that. And
yes.
I really do think that's what happened. So I think that's why. And then
So tell us, Issa, how old were you when you came out?
I was 19. I started dating a girl in college, and then we came down and told my parents that I was dating.
But I asked you
oh yeah,
around high school.
you asked me when I was like 17. I really didn't
And
think
did
I
you
was.
deny it? Oh, you
I
didn't
did.
know.
I mean, I really didn't think. I knew I just didn't like guys. I just didn't know what the other part of that was, I
Right.
guess. But when she asked me, I was like super defensive. I think I had a boyfriend at the time. I was like, I literally am dating someone. How are you gonna ask me if I'm gay like that? You know. So I kind of like brushed it off, and she just was like, "There's something you're not telling me." And then like 2 years after that, I guess I came out. And
So when you were in school, did you plan to come? I'm going to tell them now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, I
did you have anxiety?
I
Did
kind
you-
of did.
You're like, no, I know my parents.
Yes.
Like,
I was like, I know my parents. Like, I started dating this girl, and then I knew I wasn't going to see them for the next couple months because I was in college and I had a bunch of plans. And I was like, let's go tell them now. 5 days after we started dating, I was like, come with me. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Whatever. My parents are cool. And then I sat them down, and she was my roommate. That was the other thing.
Yeah, it's her roommate.
She was my roommate. And then
Yeah.
we just, anyways, long story short, I knew they were going to be cool. I told them. My mom literally, you know how she is. She's like, oh my God, hold on. Before I said anything, I was like, I do have to tell you guys something.
she's so dramatic.
She goes, hold on, stop talking. I need to go get a glass of wine. Comes back with a glass of wine.
I'm
Right,
surprised
I thought
she
she was
didn't.
talking to
You know those
Either she's-
robes with the feathers like gliding?
Stop.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do that shit.
No, but that would have been a great idea.
No, that's actually so
Yeah.
funny.
But it was like, okay, is she pregnant? Is she dropping
Yeah.
out of school?
Yep.
Did she get a ticket? Like,
Am I
you
sick?
don't know. I thought
She
everything
said-
but gay.
I
She
catastrophize shit a
built it
lot,
up.
so I
She said,
understand.
need to talk to you.
Oh, she
Well,
said
we
it-
were at dinner. I couldn't even talk. I was like shaking. I was like, my brother knew. My Kenneth knew, and he was like so excited. Like he was happy. And then the girl was there, which crazy that she came because I was like, so
She know what to
I literally
expect.
like slammed my hands down on the table. And I threw the food forward, and I was like, I have to tell you guys something. She had her whole moment. My dad just like this, like, and then I said, I'm dating,
Yeah.
my friend here, and they just stared at me like, what? And I was like, okay, so you hate me. Started bawling, crying.
I think they were more
you.
shocked
Oh,
that
They have to
that you
process
felt
that, right?
Well, it was.
but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think y'all were more shocked that she felt so apprehensive to tell y'all. Like,
yes.
It was a lot.
Yes. That feeling was like, oh my God, my daughter's gay.
Yeah.
And she didn't have, I mean, we've been so like, we communicate well. She can come to me for everything. And this is so huge. She didn't feel comfortable in telling me, right? And then also like, wait, you've been dating guys all your life. What do you mean you're dating a girl? It was a big
It was a
shocker
lot.
moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we didn't love her
Of
or we didn't
course.
accept her. It was just, it came out of, we were blindsided. Even though in the back of my mind, we kind of always knew.
right, with your mom telling you
Yes. But
Yeah.
it wasn't until,
Yeah.
and I will tell you that this is not a proud moment for me as a mother. For the first, I think, month, you know, we were in such shock, and then we were a little angry. You know, it was all about us. It's so like selfish of us. We weren't even considering her feelings, but I was like, well,
that. I'm sure you did to an extent.
yes, but one of the things that we did, we're like, okay, if you were dating a guy, we wouldn't want you to live with him. We're not okay with you dating your roommate. She's a girl, right? And we're trying all these things. You know, how should they break up? No, this isn't real. This is not. I mean, I'm saying it because I was embarrassed at the time, you know, looking back. And then Isa, the great daughter that she is, she goes, okay, Mom, I'm going to break up with her. And they broke up, okay? And then they came over that weekend to our house, okay? That's how amazing this young woman is. They came, because I would have been like, fuck that, Mom, I'm gay, girl. I am out with my girlfriend. And not her. She was like, she comes over, and obviously they're broken up, her and her ex, or, you know, the girl she was dating. And I looked at them, and you could feel the love in the room. You could feel the love in the room. And I looked at Kenneth, and he felt the same thing. And I go, babe, who are we to get in the way of that? Like,
Facts.
what are we doing? Taking happiness away from our daughter when all our lives, the polar opposite we've been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I called her in the room, and she's like, wait, what? What? Are you serious, Mom? And looking back, I mean, I love you for that, because you took respect to another level, and you didn't have to. I mean, you were a grown young lady at the tender age of 19. But, you know, that's something that, looking back, I wish I would have done different. You know,
sure.
I wouldn't have put that pressure on her.
But our communication got better after I came out, for sure.
Oh,
With
I love
everybody.
that.
Like, I think it got better.
I waved the flag, honey.
Oh, yeah, I know. She goes hard during Pride Month, for sure.
Love it.
But yeah,
love it. Love it.
She definitely, communication definitely got better after that. So, no.
And now you live next door.
And now I live next door. That is a fact.
Bonus points. Okay, so what is give me the best thing living next door to your not parents, mom, because it's mom's day.
Yes,
The best thing about living next door to mom.
Yes.
Oh, like when I don't have an egg and I'm really hungry, like I'm like,
Oh, not only that, Isa, I recall you being sick recently.
yes, you're right.
And your mother ran.
I ran all the way next door.
She ran. She did not care about her health, her husband's health, or little
True.
Lukey's health. She ran to your aid.
And
Yes,
she was
did.
even willing, because I had medicine for the Tamiflu, remember?
That's right.
She was willing to come get that. I said she can't have it now because she's already had so many days. Like, you
That's
have
right.
to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
my
no.
nurses over here
No,
for you.
definitely, definitely, yeah. Like obviously, seeing my parents or seeing my mom all the time, and coming over here, seeing Lukey. Like I love that. He's like here, I can come see him. But that just like it's easy to come over here. That and then like, did you ask the worst thing?
Yes, the worst
The
thing.
worst thing.
No, I don't think she asked
I
that.
did.
Did you?
I
I think she
don't
did. I
think
think
you
she
did.
did.
Yeah, we
Teresa?
got to cover both ends
I
of
don't
the
know the worst
spectrum.
thing.
Maybe you don't want her seeing random cars in the driveway and having
yeah,
to answer to that.
Yeah. Like maybe like literally.
Because your mother is not quiet.
No, and also she did.
Who is that? Isa.
I can see her walking in. So, Isa.
Isa.
No, she.
Isa. Don't ignore my call.
Yes. No. One time she hit me with
You're
the.
the same damn way though with me.
No,
I
no.
don't-
Okay, but
Like,
I'm a young.
I do. From the outside looking in, I look at y'all's relationship. Y'all, it's golden. It's
Aw.
beautiful.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, because y'all are very open with one another.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Strong communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
for sure.
even though she lives next door, there was a situation where she was like, "Well, do I move back home? Do I stay here?" And I told her, because I'm very proud of her, that I'm like, Isa, I would love for you to come back home. Are you kidding? But I think you need to stay where you're at so you can prove to yourself that you can make it without anybody.
Well,
Yes.
hold on. I'm sorry. How did that come about? Like, was a house for sale? How did
The house was for sale, and I was dating someone at the time who really wanted that house, and so I was like, let's do that house, and we actually got a really good price on it. You know, it was like amazing. It worked out perfectly. The guy who was living there just like left, and then we just moved in. It was perfect. And then the time she's talking about was when her and my last girlfriend and I broke up. It was just like just me to cover all like everything, and
Oh,
I was
man.
really ready to just be like, no, I can't do this. And then my mom like hyped me up very hard, and she was like, work harder, make
No, that's right.
do more. And then I'm so happy I stayed, and it's been so great. And
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
because you know,
Awesome.
it's like we're not always gonna be here for them.
No, that's right.
And what are they gonna do? You know, they can't always run back to come home. They need to figure out their own way.
yeah, so it was good.
And next door, I'm like, no, please stay.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
I love
I
it.
love it. I love living next door.
If I could have my kids next door to me, I would love it too. But they're 3
it's
hours
been
away
good.
from me, so
That's okay.
cherish it. Cherish every minute.
I will.
It'll change, honey, when they start having children.
Yes.
They'll be skeet.
Yeah.
And then they'll come right back, but they'll drop the baby.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I
that's
do with
fine.
my mom.
We'll see
That's
what happens.
fine.
But
Take care of your
Oh my
kids.
gosh.
Do you see yourself, Isa, having children?
I do. I hope my wife wants to have the baby.
No,
But I will also,
want you
I
to
will also have
one.
one. I for sure will have like birth one.
Please,
For sure,
one.
at least one. But
Yes.
I definitely see myself having maybe two. Nothing crazy, because I really can't with all these
She
like
said
kids.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Destiny will teach them. She's a therapist.
I see you though when you come over. Like your brother is a huge
Yes.
amount of years away from you.
Yes.
You are 25. He's 9.
I know. It's
Those
so concerning.
We
generational
know, Trisha.
children.
No, I'm sorry. I have a point. Okay. I see you come over and it's cute. You're like, you check your parents.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom, he's spoiled,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you're comparing it.
He's
you're
so
like,
spoiled. Yes.
yeah.
But he's the best thing ever. He's
I mean, how
He's
can
But
you
That's
I also
adorable.
see, I also see you going, look, only Lucky and I in the family can make this. Like, you
Yes.
do it too.
Yes.
100%.
You
I
said-
spoil
yeah.
him.
Thank
but,
you, Trisha, for
But
that.
I should be
Yeah.
able to spoil him. I'm his big sister.
Yeah.
He's like the best. Like, I love him so much. So
But I do love the Quadra family, like how close you guys are and just
Yeah.
welcoming.
Very hospitable.
Yes, very hospitable.
well, I love you guys and
Well,
how
you're
you
good
guys.
people. We're hospitable.
Yeah, exactly. You guys
And you
have
guys are awesome.
have been so awesome to
Yes.
my mom, and I know she can be a lot sometimes, but I love you. I love y'all's friendship.
Jackie can be a lot sometimes.
Oh my gosh, not
Let's
Jackie.
talk-
Good. I'm not,
let's
I'm not
talk
first
about-
on the list.
Look, if she don't learn to start reading some text, I need you to leave this
With
part
her
in.
No, I
phone?
can't. I can't.
Poor Jackie. Leave Jackie. She's not in the room to defend herself.
Y'all must be doing a side chat.
I'm so sick of her shit.
Jackie, we sick of that shit. We love you though.
Say something nice about your. You
Say
wanna
something nice
Oh,
about
a
you.
Mother's Day message to your
Oh,
mom.
Mother's Day message. Oh gosh.
Please, I want this recorded.
Um.
Or you can
So
save
she-
it like Toriana.
Like, so she can
Save it, save it. Don't tell her in front of
Toriana's
her.
doing something for her mom Mother's Day. So if you want to,
No, I did your birthday last week. We're good for the year, I think. I did your birthday party.
you did. It was a great surprise party.
My one thing I'll say is, I love how you represent us, our family, and me, and you've taught me to just do what I want to do and do what makes me happy. And everybody loves you. I love you. Don't.
you,
I'm not
Mama.
gonna say anymore. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Thank you.
No, but do you see this? But this is what.
She's like, I don't want to say anymore.
But this is why I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
Aww.
all right.
She's like, Mom, I didn't want to say shit because I didn't cry.
Tell me more.
We're cutting out.
Okay, up next is Teresa's beautiful firstborn, Destiny.
We're so thankful for you,
Yes.
Destiny. Regardless of your,
Afflictions.
well, I wasn't gonna put it like that, but
My
okay.
condition.
Look, okay.
Okay. She said it.
No, but I truly believe, like, your mom, like, raising you, honey, it's hard. It's hard. And I know it's a process, right? Like, looking at your mom, the job she did, and vice versa. Like, your mom is like, I just want the best for my
Oh,
baby
yes,
girl.
Absolutely.
Right? But she feels like she's the one. From your standpoint, you feel like she's the one that's fighting against you. Honey, nobody, I wish you could know the tears that your mom has cried for you.
Yeah.
Honey, I wish that you knew that she fought for you harder than anybody. Oh my gosh, Dee. Oh my gosh.
And see, like, for a long time, like you said, like, I did always think, you know, it was like me and her just like fighting against me. But I don't remember what age. I want to say maybe 23. Like, I'm 24 now, so it's only been a year. It's only been
She's had
a
a
year.
1 year revelation.
It's been a year.
But let's be real, though. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. It
That's
gradually, and you know, we've been through so much, and like, so. But it's like, you know, since that age, I remember turning 23. Like, I really am like, you know, like, I really love my mom, like, so much. And I, you know, I mean, it sounds super simple to say it this way, but it's like, I don't have any complaints because at the end of the day, like, this woman took care of me and my little sister and made sure that we knew that we could do whatever we wanted
That's
in life,
right.
have whatever we wanted. And she modeled lots of different behaviors for us. And just her and Ryan, like, my dad, like, he and her did such a great job at.
I'm sorry, it's about me, not him.
No. Oh, sorry. But okay, but you picked him. You picked him.
We'll delete that.
Because you could have picked
We'll
someone else.
delete
My
that.
bad.
Yeah.
But Mom, yeah, you did do a really good job, and
Thank
I
you.
don't have complaints. But of course, when I was still processing my stuff on my own, you know, and you know that not really even having anything to do with you, of course, like, I
course.
couldn't be gracious at that time or even think about things like. I think about it now, and I'm like, yeah, if I had 2 kids at 24 years old, I don't know what I would do.
22.
That's
22, girl. See, you just
Look,
get
she
keeps getting worse
said
and worse.
girl. But Dee, like, full circle, I feel like you don't even know until you start having children,
Yeah.
right? I feel like, and that's for all of y'all, not just you, but I feel like you don't really get it until you're in it.
Oh yeah. I
And she's
believe
gotten
that.
some perspective, even though it's just been a year or so.
yeah,
You have
yeah,
perspective of what
yeah.
your mom
But with
went
that,
through.
being my firstborn, she actually taught me something.
Mm.
Again, we've talked about this. Mental health was not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're sad, get over it.
Yeah.
She taught me about mental health. She taught me, like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay, like, you need, and I, for a long time, of course, we butted heads because I didn't understand it.
Right.
Right.
And you didn't feel like you were understood. And when I think we finally clicked, I was like, damn, I am sorry. Because I was very defensive. I did the best I could. Get over it. Get over it. But you know what? I never really apologized to her. And she lent me so much grace by saying, Mom, it's fine.
And that's really big for a mom to apologize.
You need to hear me
Absolutely.
apologize.
I think I did need to hear it to an extent, but to be real, like, all the work that I did on my own that, you didn't know about this, because obviously, like, I'm not just going to call you up one day and be like, oh, hey, by the way, I forgive you for what you did to me when I was,
Yeah.
But I remember in my own work that I do on my own, in my therapy and things like that, I had to learn to forgive you on my own. And really, because it's just like, it's not like you never were apologetic or you never were sensitive to the fact that, yeah, my feelings were hurt or anything like that. But, I had to do work on that too. Like, it wasn't all on you, like, I had to also do the work, you know what I mean?
Oh, I
and
love that.
meet you halfway. Because that would not be fair to just put that all on you.
But speaking of vulnerability, that is actually the strongest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The strongest stance you can take is to be vulnerable with someone else. That's not easy. Oh my gosh.
It's not. It's probably one of the top 10 worst feelings.
Honey,
like-
but it shows so much strength in your character to do that.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. I mean, especially, like, one thing too, it's like my mom is so dynamic in the way that she has made so many changes and been so adaptable over her life, over the 24 years I've known her. Like, she has been over backward, all whatever they say about, whatever, but what back bend, bridge overs or whatever.
Bend over backwards.
But whatever, yeah. It's like you have literally made so many changes, adjustments, or whatever necessary for your little, like, tribe that we have. It's not little, but, like, you know what I mean?
It's not
all,
little.
all 75
You
kids.
have- You
75.
have changed so much, but, like, for the better and, like, in the best way. Like, you make changes. I mean,
Nobody.
Teresa, do you I'm sorry.
No.
Do you receive that? I'm looking at you, and I could see that you're struggling to receive all this praise your daughter is giving you.
because
It's
it's
hard.
weird. No, it's weird. Because
weird.
But do you receive it? I mean, because she's being.
I do, but, like, it's weird because, like, I wasn't a big hugger, right?
Well, me and you, just, like, even now, no, I'm like, don't touch me. I'm like, no, don't touch
we
me.
weren't.
No,
my
I'm like, don't
mom
touch me.
My mom
No.
wasn't a big hugger.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you stay over there. I'm like,
so remember when Kinsley's like,
oh my God, so
right? My husband, like, he's
touchy-feely.
very huggy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
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 And she'll hug me. I'm like, oh. And I'm just, we're not,
Yeah.
right? And so we're like,
Well, yeah.
what we do now is like, okay,
It's like, oh,
hey, girl.
yeah.
But we love each other. I love
High
the shit out of her.
five. She's
No,
going.
yeah.
Absolutely.
When
I
I'm like
love
that, yeah.
I love the shit out of her, but it's just like very hard. Like we haven't
Yeah.
been.
I'm like that with my best friends too. Like I'm like, no, don't touch me. And like
No, I'm good.
some of them are like that too. And I'm like, yay. But
Our-
like,
I get that. Our family is such like, let's
Huggers.
hug and we
And I'm
kiss,
like-
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Toriana's like, I don't like hugs. I'm like, get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
no, and I like it. Like I've learned things now about like, that like physical touch, like words of affirmation, things like that. So like, that's why my siblings, like I am a really like, I'm just their bigger sister, but like I am pretty maternal for them. Like, because I do take care of them and I love them so much. Like I want to, like I work with kids. And so like with them, like, they're so cuddly and like lovey and like they like, so I'm like with kids,
That's
I'm
so
like, cool. But like, I'm
beautiful.
like,
Okay, bye.
I'm like,
go
if
to
you,
mom.
I'm like, oh,
Go to
you're my
mama.
25-year-old best friend. I'm like, okay, you're I'm like,
So you're. So it's fair to say you were a single mom, right?
That was for a long time.
Yes.
long time.
What is your like strongest, most beautiful, memorable memory of your mom? Like, what's your first memory of your mom that you recall?
okay, so believe it or not, I do have pretty clear memory of being like in kindergarten and pre-K.
Wow.
And like they say that studies show that you can remember things as early as 3 years old.
Yeah.
But it sounds kind of silly, but like when I was little, I remember one time my mom was in another room and I just came in there and I was like, Mommy, I'm hungry. And like, she's like, you're hungry? And I was like, yeah, my tummy hurts. And like, but like, and she was just like playing with me and she's like, okay, I'm going to make you some oatmeal. Like, and then another one that I always think about sometimes, like, it's so weird when I'm brushing my teeth because when my mom, she was brushing, so, when you're a kid, you have to be supervised. And so she was like with me brushing my teeth and she's like, okay, now like spit it out or whatever. Yeah. And then I spit it out, but I got some on the sink and she was like, like, you just got that on the sink, like just like playing, just playing with me, and like just being like
love,
and just love. Taking care of me, and so it's like I've just always known that she takes care of me, and like as a single mom, it's like it was all her, like that was my ride or die, like my that's like my pillar. So it's like my earliest memories are you taking care of me, and so it's like I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like, 24, that's so long ago. Or like, your lipsticks. Like, okay, I don't know why. I literally took a bite. Like,
of a lipstick? Yeah. You thought it was one of those candy pops?
I don't know what I thought. I was just like, because you know what it smells like, right?
How old were you?
God, maybe like 5, like, or 6. I just was like, I'm going to try this. Like, and it was like.
It looks so yummy.
It did look a little yummy. And
nice and like, red?
No, it wasn't red. It was like a nude.
Yeah, nude color. I think I was wearing nude.
This was like, what, 2005, 2006? Yeah, with the like. Paris Hilton chic.
Yes. My earliest memory of Day was going to my grandparents' house, and she would stop screaming in the back seat. So I got a cup of water and threw it on her.
Again with the cup of water?
With the cup of water.
I mean, I think that's y'all's thing, girl.
I was 4 years old.
Well, because
water. She was just
used
screaming.
To get so escalated. Like, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie. She did it again when I was like 4 years old because I was just screaming. And I remember I was looking at her, I'm like, what's she doing? Why is she going over there to go grab something? I'm like, and it's all over me. But
well, no, it's the same thought process of putting when you're having anxiety and you stick your face in cold ice water.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the reason she did it.
That's what I'm going
with.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, I would much rather her have, it's her trying to calm me down than, lock me in a room by myself and just be like, whatever. Like that's awful. Like I know that
nobody loves you more than your mom.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that for sure. She definitely wants what's best for me, and
absolutely.
Yeah, has always. And I'm so lucky because like I was just talking about this the other day, like I'm just really lucky because, me and my mom have a great relationship and we've been through so much, and
you've recovered from it though, which is incredible.
And we like low-key kind of gripped together, I feel like, in a way, because she had me at 20. So like, and I don't know, I feel really lucky to have her as my mom because, like not to compare myself to others, but I hear about things, or I have friends that have lost their moms, or like I have friends that, they don't have the best relationships with their moms, or their moms just like they're not even biting, and so I just feel really lucky to have her as my mom. So
I love that. I love it.
I've never seen Teresa speechless.
I know.
She's eating this up.
She's taking me more. Tell me more.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh my God, stop! You're funny. When the restraining order gets decreased from 5 years to 3.
So there's a chance.
Because we have a lot of fun. Like we go out to the square.
Yes. Oh my God.
And
Austin. We'll go to speakeasies.
Well, we'll go to speakeasies. Yeah. We go float in the river. Yeah. So like my little besties, my broke besties, but my besties.
Yeah, and all of my friends like literally love my mom. Like,
I love her friends.
Like the ones that I've had, like Alexis, my best friend since I was like 12. Like she's like, how is our mom doing?
Oh, that's our daughter. I'm like, you can be more like our daughter. You can be more like Alexis.
I know, and I just love that.
When they graduated together.
Yes. We went to Texas State together, and then now, I'm still in Austin.
They live close together in
yes,
Austin
we
now.
live about 10 minutes away. So we've lived 10 minutes away from each other since we were like 12. So, and
true best friend.
I know. I'm really lucky for her too.
How is my daughter doing?
Alexis?
Yes.
Which one? Your other one? Girl, you have too many kids.
Alexis.
She got so many kids. She's doing good. She's
I've met 7 already, so.
She has too many kids. She's doing good. She's doing good.
And she looks incredible.
And Savannah's in med school. You know that. Yes. I have another best friend. She's in Wisconsin now, but.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we asked this of everybody. I don't think we asked this of Isa, but what traits would you instill in your children that your mom has instilled in you? Whether they're hard ones or ones that you didn't like per se, what traits do you think you see yourself instilling in your children?
Strength, but you know, like American Horror Story season 3.
That's season 3.
Not American Horror Story.
Because when she goes, so she says, I couldn't toast a piece of bread with the heat that they put on you. And people come around and they start asking questions. We close breaks and we show strength. And I don't know. That's just me. Like, I'm 5'2", and I'm a girl and whatever. So I feel like something that I got from my mom, and at times, I can
seem a little cold, but it's strength.
I can be cold-blooded, I can be aggressive, but at the end of the day, it is strength, and I can fix that. I can go back and say, okay, you know what? I was aggressive about that, and I can think to myself, like, okay, how do I want to be going from here? But it is such a great trait to have, because I can stand on my own 2 feet, and I will be okay. Like, I am extremely strong.
And that's what I love about y'all's generation. Y'all's generation, really, like seeing you three right here, I was not like this at that age. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't. And I think that I applaud that, because you guys have all these resources, and you know how to be vulnerable, and you know how to do the research, and you know how to go get the help.
Yes.
It was very taboo for us as a Latina to go get, I mean, if I was going to therapy, it's because I was crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And like for me, like, especially with my family, like obviously they want what's best for me, but they don't know what the hell this crap is. Like I'm not talking about.
No.
Like,
You're right.
I ended up and that's my field now, what I work in, and I work with kids, and I am more so on the behavior side of it, as opposed to mental illnesses.
Yeah.
But
is that what drew you to that profession?
yes, because I think that with kids, it's like there's a lot going. Like they come to school, whatever, but it's like there's things going on at home. Kids have there's sometimes a single parent household. That's one thing, and that's stress. Like, whatever, like, it's always going to be stressful in that kind of situation. And I think that, a lot of times, like, kids that have things going on at home or when their situations are different from their peers, they tend to do things differently from their peers, And so I think there's just a lot more to it. But, yeah, I mean, the stigma for it as well, like, but I've always kind of been, like, really, like, out there. I don't care. Like,
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. But I also got that from her, because she doesn't care either.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't
Seems
care.
like that's a trend in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it should be.
Destiny, would you like to say anything to your mom for Mother's Day?
I think just to kind of like go back to what I was saying earlier. I'm like, I don't want to look at her in the eye right now. I'm like, I can't even make the eye contact.
Well, you can just
I know. I have to look.
Look
over.
at us. We'll pretend you're saying
but
it to
see,
us.
Isn't that so funny though? When I'm telling her what she said earlier too, it's like, remember.
Well, because I think Teresa, just looking at her body language, it's hard.
It's hard to be soft.
And it's hard for her to receive it. And I've noticed, like,
that's her defense mechanism.
when I've said
that's okay,
when I've said to your mom, "Oh my God, you look so pretty," I could see like she almost like looks down, like it's hard for you to receive that.
It's very hard to receive any type of compliments.
Yeah.
Because it's just.
Well, and I think it's hard for me to be soft about that too, because we've always been like a very like, okay, like, good morning.
You have to
officer,
be like, no
morning,
emotion. Hello, Colonel.
No, literally, but
militant family.
Yeah,
No,
very much so.
I get it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's just how it was, and so it's like it is difficult to be gooey, but like I said,
Gooey, that's the perfect
gooey,
word.
yeah, gooey, soft, mushy center, and it's like gobstopper, like
Yeah.
that's all the time.
Yeah.
But just to kind of go off what I said earlier, yeah, like I'm really lucky to have you as my mom,
Absolutely.
and I'm so thankful of what you have done, not only for myself but my siblings, and what you are willing to do. You would literally go to the ends earth, like, and I love it. And I love the relationship that you have with your mom. That makes me so happy, and I look forward to that.
With her and her mom?
With me, roles reversed.
Yes.
When I have kids one day. So, yeah, I just feel really lucky to have you as my mom.
That's awesome. That
My
was
regular
great.
mom. She's a cool mom.
She is a cool
She's
mom.
always a cool mom, but that's okay. As you shouldn't, though. As you should not have been, though.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to close. If you're not following us at Revelry Podcast, I would highly recommend you go and follow us. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on anywhere you get your podcast, Revelry Podcast.
Bye, guys. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Welcome to Revelry Podcast. I'm your host, TikTok Mama. This is a special Mother's Day edition, and I have a special guest with me today, the original triple OG mama, my mama. Mom, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Yay. So, Mom, tell me how many children you have.
I have 7.
How old were you when you had your first?
19.
19. That's how old I was when I had Tristan.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you had 7 children?
Yeah.
What number am I?
Number 7.
Who's your favorite?
You?
So jot that down. So I think, man, I had a great childhood. I was born in Dallas, but you brought me to Houston before I was a year old.
Yes.
And we lived, I would say, Mom, wouldn't you say, in Aldine, close to Greens Point, we
Yes.
grew up, right?
Yes. Right.
So it was a great neighborhood when we started there growing up. And you had Mom and Dad had a 3-bedroom house, is that right?
Right.
But she had 7 children she raised in this 3-bedroom house. They eventually converted the garage into a bedroom, and 3 girls slept out in the garage.
Right.
And then also you alternated the boys staying out in the garage, is that right?
Yes.
3 of them also at the
Yes.
same time?
Yes.
Yes. You raised 7 kids in a 3-bedroom house.
Right.
We converted the garage to a bedroom, and that helped a lot, I
Yes,
imagine.
It sure did.
Okay, so if the 3 girls were in the garage, I'm assuming 2 boys, 3 boys were in the house. And was Paulette gone at that point? The oldest daughter?
She didn't leave till, what was it, 78?
78, yes. So she was your oldest.
Oldest girl.
Oldest girl, yes, oldest girl. And I remember sharing a room with her.
Yeah.
I do. I remember, let me tell you what I remember about sharing a room with her. I had a bedwetting problem for many years. I don't know what it stemmed from, but I did have, in my defense, Mom, I did have kidney problems.
Yeah, you did. We
Okay.
didn't know it at the
Uh,
time, but you
correct. So I would roll over and piss on my sister and roll back to my side where it was dry.
did. Yeah.
And she would eventually get cold and realize what I had done. And she'd take me off the bed and change the sheets and put me back in the bed. Sometimes she had to bathe me. Right? This went on for years. But so I remember that. I shared a room with her. And I remember when she started dating, I was very jealous. And I would look out the peephole. I'd put a chair at the front door when they were kissing on the front porch when he would bring her home at night. And I would stand and stare through the peephole and look at them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, sure did.
Okay, I want to move on and ask you, do you remember who your most challenging child was? Who was the toughest for you two? Who really made you get on your knees and pray for them?
Randy.
Randy. Yes, I think he had that effect on all of us.
You could never get him to be any serious at all. He had to make
Always
up.
clowning, right?
Yeah, and he still is.
You know what? You saying Randy, you know what that makes me think of? When I was in high school, and you and Dad bought me my first car. It was a Vet. You remember that?
Yeah, but it was a Chevette, not a van.
Mom, don't say that in front of all the people.
Well, it's the truth.
Do you know that I would be out at a club and I'd be like, they're like, what do you drive? I'm like, I drive a Vet. They didn't need to know it was a Chevette. But that's what makes me think, Randy, he had so many cars.
Yeah.
So many cars, so many car accidents. Okay, Mom, so you had 7 kids. Tell me what it was like trying to feed. Now, this is 70s. This is 70s, early 80s, right?
Uh-huh.
So tell me what it was like trying to feed 7 children. I know food went a lot further then than it does now.
Yes.
Was there a meal that we requested that went far for you that you remember? Because, Mom, you were born in 1935.
Yeah.
It didn't Titanic sink that year? So, oh, no, that was 1914. When was it? What? I think
1935.
no, you were born in 1935. But when did Titanic sink? Like 1914?
Probably.
I think your mom was born 1914. Okay, so my grandma was born 1914. You were born 1935, and I was born 1970.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Okay, so back to Mom, tell me, what was a meal that you remember preparing that would feed? Because if I remember correctly, people stayed at our house eating. You invited everybody in. Any of our friends were welcome. The neighborhood was open up to come inside, and you can eat with us. You may only have one serving, but you can eat with us.
Yeah.
Do you remember a meal that went far for us or that we requested often?
Well, I would fix a lot of times a big pot of stew or a big pot of beans, and then fix potato salad or whatever to go with whatever I was fixing. And y'all would be out in the middle of the street playing ball, and it wasn't anything for 2 or 3 of the kids on the street to come in and eat.
That's right. That's
And-
right.
And then I had this friend that always came over and ate. Then we had your grandma and grandpa.
That's right. I was about to bring that up. I forgot to say, in a house, a 3-bedroom house, not only did you raise 7 children, we had grandma and grandpa there.
Yeah.
And Mom, like our family just didn't believe or didn't want anyone to go to a nursing or assisted living. She wanted them with us. So my mom would, at the end of their life, care for them. And that was a really, really special message that you sent to all of us.
Yeah.
And that's why your ass ain't in a nursing home.
Well, I'm going to pick out the one you put me in.
I know, you'll never go to a nursing home, Mama. We got you. There's too many of us. You got 7 kids. You should not be in no nursing home. So, Mom, did I ever get any spankings?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember one time when did you spank me or did Dad spank me? Did Dad ever spank me?
Not much.
I don't even know. I don't have a memory of him spanking me. I have a memory of you spanking me, but I wonder if it's the same memory you have spanking me. Do you have a memory of me when you had to spank me?
Yeah.
You want to share it?
Oh, well, I remember one time I spanked you out in the garage, and we were chased you around the pool table, didn't we?
Yes, you caught me in the closet with Shane and Sean Schindler.
Yeah.
And you spanked me until I pissed myself around the pool table.
Pool table.
Yeah, because I made you chase me. I made you work for
And
it.
then I whipped you for pissing.
Crack me up. That's hilarious, Mom. Thinking of all the neighborhood kids that would come over, we still talk to some of them even today.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, we were in that house for over 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was, my whole life was there.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't move around. I didn't have any other homes. That was my home. And I just have great memories of my childhood. Great memories of my childhood. I remember I can't drive into downtown Houston without thinking of the recital that I performed at every year.
Yes.
And the money and the time you devoted as a parent. You were just selfless in raising me. You took me to all my dance classes. I mean, year after year after year. And I never would go to any other dance school. I had to be at Miss Nancy's Dance School of Art.
Yeah. You were good at what you did, and I was so proud of you. And I was proud to raise you and have you to go off and win awards and things like that.
Oh, I love
I'll never forget the time you went to, was it Las Vegas?
Yes.
And y'all were in the recital down there, and your dance class won first place.
That's right. It was the Las Vegas. It was Dance Educators of America. It was a dance competition. I was in high school. I was pregnant with Tristan and did not know. Performing in Las Vegas. We did take first place in tap. We did Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. We tapped our little asses off. We won first place. And, you know, the funny thing is, Mom, I think I told you, I don't know if you remember, I went back just recently to Vegas and I danced with Paula Abdul as her backup dancer, and I won an award 35 years later.
Yeah.
35 years later. Yeah. So that's very special to me. But I just think of all the selfless time that you put in as a mom, showing us how to care for our grandparents, and you just gave so much to me. You taught me how to cook, taught me how to take care of babies. You had to help me for a long time when I first became a mother. And that's just a legacy that I want to pass down to my kids, my children. I want
tell
that.
you, it's worth every penny of it.
It sure is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And Mom, I just have to thank you. I'm so grateful that you came and you shared your time with us. You are my heart. I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.
I always will.
Oh.